Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to our podcast. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I am drinking out of my Don't Mess with Texas
Ah,
decluttering mug. I am drinking peppermint tea though today.
I'm
Yeah.
drinking out of my mug, but my Vortex mug. And I'm just drinking peach water.
Oh,
So
nice.
I got a call this morning, and it was a friend of mine who works in hospice. And she said, I have a guy that you need to go see. So I went to the hospital. And there is a young man. I mean, he's in his 40s and he is not doing well
Oh,
and not expected to make it maybe a couple of months. And he is pissed. Like, to the point, I was surprised that he let me come see him. But when I got there and we started chatting, he was initially kind of shut down. But then when we started talking, he started expressing how angry he was. And I let him go on. He's angry about this diagnosis, but he has been angry because as he's telling me how pissed off he is about this, it goes into the ex-wife and the parents and just going down the line. And so I asked him, I'm like, how long have you been angry? And he's like, most of my life. That's just who I am. And I said, well, are you willing to let the anger go? And he looks at me. It's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. He did not say that. That's just what his face told me. And he said, what does that have to do with anything? I said, it has to do with everything. I did not want to give him hope and say, if you let this anger go, it can save your life. But I wanted to.
yeah.
I mean, more than anything, I wanted to be like, oh, honey, that's why you're sick.
Yeah.
But he's not ready for all of that. When we're in the midst of it, someone walks in and, oh, you just got to let your anger go. You want to punch him in the face.
That'll make you feel better for sure. Yeah.
So I did a session with him just to help relax him and to introduce the thought, the idea, what if? And I think the more I can just get him to tiptoe in that direction, the more he might be willing to hear. But it was heartbreaking on one hand. But on the other hand, I thought, what if you can turn this around?
Yeah.
Because I've seen it. And if he wants to, and he's willing to let all that shit go and focus solely on where he wants to go.
I know.
I mean, blank canvas.
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want to paint?
How was he after you finished the session? Did he
Weirdly calm.
Mm,
And he even was like, what just happened?
yeah.
And
Wow.
it was a longer session. It was completely off the cuff.
Yeah.
I sat and talked to him and took notes and asked him what he wanted and where he saw himself. And
Which would have been a hard hard thing to do, to ask and to answer when doctors are not giving great hope.
Mm-hmm. He's not focused very far in the future.
Yeah.
You know, he wants relief in his body. He
Right.
wants his mind clear. He wants to reconcile with his kids. Those are the sorts of things, you know, he's thinking, I need to do these things before I die.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, let's release some shit and maybe you don't need to die.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But it's funny because we hold on to things. There's that saying, something about like a snake wrapping. Do you know what I mean? A snake wrapping around a knife or a sword. And the tighter it grips the sword, the more it hurts itself. Something like that.
I've never heard that, but that is a great analogy.
I'm probably butchering it, but that's the premise of it. And it's like we hold on to these things because we think it's protection. We hold on to anger. We hold on to these bullshit stories.
Fear.
Fear, all of these things, we hold on to it because we think it's keeping us safe, but it's actually doing us so much harm.
Correct. Yeah.
And we end up like dying by that sword.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like own, we're doing it to ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
And I joke all the time because Cam had read somewhere, I don't know, like 20 years ago. It was something about like a guy talking to his wife and they were in an argument. And so he came out with and said, I choose happiness over being right. So now this is what every time we're having a disagreement or like just over something stupid like the name of a show or whatever,
Yeah.
he'll just sit back, smirk, and say, I choose happiness over being right, which is his way of being right. Right. But I can go farther with that because we have to choose happiness over
We do.
being right. Meaning we let go of the resentment because we hold on to it because we're right and they're wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we've got to choose the courageous thing to step away from being stuck in our own story. Mm-hmm. Choose the courageous thing because that's where the happiness is. The happiness doesn't lie in us staying stuck and expecting someone else to make us happy, expecting a situation to make us happy.
Yep.
The only thing we can do is like fucking get out of our own way. Mm-hmm. Like let go of the sword.
Mm-hmm. And it's the hardest thing to do when we are smack in the middle of our story and we're pissed and maybe terrified. Absolutely. And yeah, it's hard, but here's the thing. We should have been taught this as children.
Yeah.
Like why this is not part of curriculum.
I know.
Like how our brain works.
Yeah. Because all of his anger is just his ego, his subconscious mind going, I'm going to hold on to this. This is, I need this.
Yeah.
I need this anger so no one will hurt me. I fucking deserve to be angry. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been shit on or my life sucks. Yeah.
And I get in to some degree why he's angry, but rather than feed that, it's like, why don't we just look for a solution? The house is on fire. Let's put out the fire. Stop trying to figure out whose fault it is.
Yeah.
Put out the fire.
Yeah.
And we do that where I'm going to be right. And I'm going to be mad about it.
And I'm going to let my fucking house burn down.
Yeah.
But that's it was
But
your
it's their
fault.
fault.
Yeah. You started my fucking fire, so I'm going to let it burn.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to blame you for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's so sad, but I think it's just a normal process for our minds and our subconscious
Oh,
to do trauma to like, it's the way we protect ourselves. It's a fucked up way. Doesn't make us
but
any happier.
once we learn better, we can do better.
Yes. Yeah.
And my hope, what I would love to see is him let this shit go and get another shot and then go, what are you going to do with this shot?
Right.
Where are you going now?
Exactly.
There's beauty in it all.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make it, for him to get some of this stuff straight before he does make his transition will be beautiful.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, it can be a beautiful story.
Yeah. It's already a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Because for you to walk in and him being so resistant to him feeling better.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Like, even that's enough. Just like he had a moment where he felt peace and went, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
I feel calm.
Yeah. And if he can start craving that peace.
Yeah.
And
I know.
I want more of that.
Right.
It's like when I found gratitude in my little apartment.
Yeah.
I would come home and go, oh, I want to do that thing again. That felt so good. And it was that feeling that I was craving, and I didn't know why.
Yeah.
Well, the universe was going, try
Yeah.
this.
Absolutely.
Thank God I listened.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I have to tell you,
Yeah.
I have been, so have I talked about Neville Goddard recently? I kind of
No,
went
but
down
I
the
watch
rabbit
him
hole.
almost every day.
Do you really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I don't know where I'm getting this from, but like just, he's been popping into my world, like just little bits.
Yep.
And so all of a sudden on TikTok, I see this chick and she's talking about Neville Goddard's revision technique. I am fascinated by this revision technique. So I don't know, do you use it?
Yeah, where you go back and rewrite.
Right. You go back in time to just sort of like rewrite what's true. And
let me tell you, I had a client that had trauma
okay.
within a friend group. And she carried that trauma with her,
Yeah.
feeling no one likes me, I'm not good enough, I'm all of these things that they said I was, and has just held on to it. And so what we did is we went back to that place. I get her
hypnosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get her firmly in, and then we walk through the door and go to the place where they were waiting for her, that they all, what is it called? An intervention.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't of drugs or alcohol. It was just, we don't like you and we're not your friends anymore. And
thank you.
And they all,
thank you for the blessing. I like to see you later. But
they all wrote letters and read them about what a terrible person that she was. So we went back and relived that.
Yeah.
And she spoke the words that she wished she had said to them then. set
Oh, I
them
love
down.
it. I love it.
And it freed her,
Yeah.
completely freed her. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I've been fascinated by it.
Hmm.
And it's interesting because so I have a client who has trauma in a friend group too, which begs the question of how often does this happen and why do we allow it? Like, I mean, this is wild, but I wanted her to try this practice and she refused. She said, I can't go there. I don't want to. And I'm not entirely sure why, other than to hold on to the sword, you know?
Hmm.
I think that that was the thing.
Yeah.
I don't like the sword. I do not want to hold on to it. And I don't like bleeding by it because of how tight I'm wrapped around it. So, like, I choose to try all of the things. I went back. My son is struggling with a number of injuries, and this is his draft year, et cetera, et cetera. So I have been carrying like fear and worry, and not that he won't make it. Like, I fully just believe what is meant to be shall be. You
Yeah.
know, if it's meant to you, it shall not pass you by, no matter what. I also do believe that I think sometimes these things happen so that we can shift and adjust just a little bit in whatever way that we are meant to in order to get to where we're
Yeah.
inevitably going to go and do the best that we can.
Yeah.
But I had noticed in myself that I had been worrying too much, feeling on it too much, thinking about it too much. And I can't freaking change what an MRI says or what an X-ray says. So why am I worried about what it's going to say? Like, that's just ridiculous. So I've been down the rabbit hole on Neville Goddard, and I thought I'm going to try this revision technique. So every single, like all throughout the day, if I get a worry, I think, oh, but that's not true. What is true is that he is at the top of his game. He has zero injuries to deal with. He has zero injuries to rehab. He does go to all of the physio. He does all of the stretching. He drinks all the water. He eats all the great, amazing foods. He is an athlete among athletes. Like, he is the Tom Brady of, health and athleticism. And people see him and they know him and they're asking for him. And it was so, so, so interesting because from the second I started doing that, I felt better.
Yeah.
The second I told myself a different story.
And
And then
nothing changed in the
nothing
situation
changed.
itself.
Absolutely.
But the thing
Absolutely.
is that you can imagine, I don't have to worry about him.
Right.
He can be healed. Like, the body
Yeah.
regenerates and does so many amazing things, or God can regenerate the body and do so many amazing things, or the universe, or
Yes. Whoever's
the
up there.
crystal, like, whatever you believe.
Absolutely. Grab a magnet. I know. It's the truth, right?
Our body, and who is it? Joe Dispenza that talks about how, like, everything is always regenerating. Like, we have new organs because of the way our body works. So why
Yeah,
isn't it going to be healed?
exactly. Well, and
And
Joe Dispenza, is he not the one who he had injured himself and
he wasn't
used his
supposed to be able to
mind?
walk.
Yes.
And
And
they
it was
said
his
you have to
mindset
have
work.
these surgeries. Well, he
Yeah.
knew if he did this surgery on his spine, what that meant for pain, for being mobile. Like, he's a
Yeah.
doctor. He was like, absolutely not. And they're like,
Yeah.
you're never going to walk again if you don't
Yeah.
do this. And he's like, I will walk, but I'm not going to be addicted to drugs for the rest of my life. And he had to do some deep, deep meditation work and focus
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
seeing and some revision, I'm sure.
Yeah. But it's so wild, right? Because like I said before, we get stuck in our story.
Yeah.
we get stuck in our own story and our own, like, this is what's real. But what if we just had complete delusional belief in something different? There was a moment I was worried about my son, and he was worried about the same thing where he was. And all of a sudden, I just heard from a voice from above, universe, God, spirits, angels, I don't know, whoever's up there. I was in the middle of a meditation and I just heard, but if he's worrying and you're worrying, you're doubling the energy of what it is you don't want.
Yep.
You're actually keeping him stuck.
And he's feeling your worry.
Yes.
To top it off.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not talking to him.
No.
And so I just went, oh, okay. And so it's been, I'm a slow learner, I guess, but like, it's been all of these sort of little things that kind of like are fitting together like Oprah's thread, you know?
Yeah.
And then finally this Neville Goddard revision technique. And I just think, man, I can manifest anything.
Anything. And it's funny you're talking about delusional thinking.
Yeah.
We don't think twice about these ridiculous worst case scenario scenes that we play in our mind like a fucking movie, and we call that real.
Exactly.
But then we say, but let's look at the flip side. Oh, you're delusional. Really? I mean, aren't both of them a little delusional? And it gets you to whatever you're focused on. Neville Goddard said, you don't manifest, you choose. Some people will hear the word manifest and they roll their eyes. Oh, my God.
Yeah, like a buzzword. Yeah.
You're choosing whatever it is that you choose to give your attention in and focus on. That's what shows up.
Yeah.
So what are you looking at?
Well, whatever you're looking at, whatever you choose to believe shows up in your life because you see it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and then you see it as evidence of what your brain has been thinking or what you've been training it to believe.
Yeah.
And then you will step through that door.
Yeah.
Like imagine your dude that's so angry. He has the same amazing opportunities around them, but the anger's turning off the blinders to see anything but things that support his anger.
But what anger does to your body.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's that as well. But yeah, so his brain can't see anything but things to be pissed off about. And his body is feeling the result of all of that.
Yeah. So true. I was speaking to a client and a friend this morning. It was so interesting because she has a story about how they've wronged her and how they have been, she believes, what they've said, how they've been about her, like behind her back.
Yeah.
So she's kind of created this entire story. And I said, okay, but that's an assumption. Like, what if none of that is true? And so similarly to hanging on to the sword, it was like, oh no, I know. Don't you tell me this is an assumption. I know. And so I said, well, what if this is true? This is what you're seeing because of this totally different story.
Mm-hmm.
And she came back at me and said, but that's an assumption. I said, right. Both of them are assumptions. So you're assuming your assumption is true. My assumption is not true, but we're both going with, this is all that we know for sure because we can see it with our face or like with our eyes. Right.
Yep.
And I just think, man, it's that same, like, if this could be true, this also could be true. because we don't know the facts.
Yeah.
So I would rather choose the delusional belief, even if I look stupid to someone because I'm wrong.
Correct.
I'm so fucking happy in the process.
Yeah.
You know, if one day, 17 years from now, someone goes, "You thought that? Are you delusional? This girl was talking about you badly for the entire 17 years." I go, "Whoa, well, 17 years I was happier."
Yeah. I didn't have to know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't worried about it. I was just choosing to believe I don't need to hang out with that person, but I don't need to stay stuck in a story of I'm the victim.
Mm-hmm. Or they think I'm bad, or they think I'm this, or no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's none of our business
Right.
what anyone else thinks, because it's not about us. It is about them and who they are, where they are mentally, and what they're focused on.
Well, and the thing is too, Eleanor Roosevelt was quoted as saying, "You wouldn't worry so much about what other people think of you if you realize how seldom they do."
Yeah.
People do not think of us as much as we think they're thinking of us, because we live as the leading lady in our movie.
Yes.
But we are not the leading lady in theirs.
No. No.
We're like not even a cast member. Like
Right.
maybe
We're an extra.
I know we're so insignificant in their lives, but we think this person must be thinking about me 24/7. No, they're not. They have lives and their own problems.
Yeah.
I interviewed a guy one day when I was working for Veterans Affairs, and he started telling me all of this shit that he did. I do not know why. This is like affair with his wife and all of this stuff. I don't know why he was telling me. So he unloads all of this stuff. Like it had nothing to do with his service.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, no. And then he looks at me in this panic and his eyes go big. And he goes, "I don't know why I told you all of that." And I'm thinking to myself, me neither, because that is not the question that I fucking asked you. But anyway, he was like, "I don't know why I told you all that stuff." And I said, "Oh, it's okay. Like that is what happens. People just tell me stuff."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Please don't tell anyone that I said that." I said, "I have my own problems." I'm telling you, I won't remember what yours are.
Yeah.
And I tell that story a lot of times because that dude could have gone back and started ruminating. "Oh my gosh, why did I tell her?" And that's going to be in my report. I'm not going to put that in a report. It doesn't matter. That's going to be in my report. Then what happens? And what, like, he could have told a huge, 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 huge story. And he could have fell into that fear for a long period of time.
Oh, yeah. Paralyzed.
This is his story to deal with, not mine.
Yeah.
And I truly just let it go. But everyone mostly lets other people's shit go because we have our own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't assume that.
Well, and if they don't, again, that's about them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. And it doesn't make us, I think the goal is always happy. Like the goal should be that we are happy. I don't give a shit about someone else if they want to be unhappy, bashing me or whatever, happy, bashing me. It's, I just need to be happy in my own brain.
Yeah.
And happy is healthy, I think.
Well, and it's our habits of thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can't change anyone else's habits of thought, only our own.
Yeah.
And if everyone would work on their habits of thought, all of these manufactured problems
Right.
that I don't know if it's the media, if it's the government, if it's, I can't identify exactly where it's coming from. All that shit would go away because we would go, "Oh, they're just trying to stir us up."
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ants in a jar.
Ants in the
It's,
fucking jar, girl.
it's your ants in the jar example. But it is true in that nothing outside of ourselves can make us feel in a certain way unless we allow it to.
Yeah. We just have to decide.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with that, we're out of time.
We are. It was a good place to end.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sandra. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.